What is going on, guys? Welcome to the stream. You want to talk about some cool stuff? That's 3 days in a row, so check that out. 3 days in a row. What is going on, R2K? Welcome to the show. Miguel Morales, what is happening, my man? Welcome to the show. Matt Storm, Logan Windsor, Sam, and JT. Welcome, brothers. How is everybody doing today? Man, we have a big show going on right now. We did a few new things. Hardcore title. Now, from here on out, going to be 2 out of 3 falls. Typically the kind of matches you see with Totes, but hardcore title, 2 out of 3 falls. That's going to go on. Digital Dogs, Paul the Thing, going to get us started with that. We've got a lot of title belts on the line. We just saw an amazing match in the last episode, or 2 episodes ago, with Cecil and Kempty and Zack and Vipero. Those guys going after it again. Title belts on the line. Sid B, Anita T going after Judge Julie Justice, Victoria Van Diver. Eagle getting a shot at the television title. If you notice, there's a little bit of a theme here. All these matches, I believe, are 20 counts out of the ring. Jay Savage, GC Rock getting after it. JP getting his shot at Matt Storm here tonight. U.S. title belt on the line. Can Matt Storm make it 10 title defenses in a row? We just saw Rebecca Dawn in the TWC Friday night event lose the Junior World title. Now her and Ozzy will be going after the Faces of Fear. What is going on, Herbie? Welcome to the stream. Totes putting a title belt on the line here tonight. Typically, we don't see the Universal $1 Million Championship on the line anymore. We usually see it every 2 weeks. Robbo, though, getting a shot. Again, a 2 out of 3 falls count match. And then Sentinel and Jahki squaring off. No title belts on the line, but squaring off nonetheless. So, should be an interesting show here tonight. And like I said, 2 out of 3 falls. We're getting ready to see 2 big men really trying to get after each other. Digital trying to get himself going, trying to get the title belts coming in. Can he do it here tonight? Oh, here we go with the crazy stuff again. Totes is going to have to do something here in just a second. But regardless of how it's going, this match already underway, almost like a WCW fast start type of a match, a WWE fast start match. So we will have to see how that all goes. My headphones getting on my last nerve. Digital Dogs, though, getting off again to a fast start. And look, the way Digital Dogs has been set up, we have seen him getting off to a fast start plenty of times, but where it really starts to matter when you're looking at this archetype, when you're looking at the giant type archetype, it's not how fast he starts, it's can he get out fast and get a win. The longer the match goes on, the more detrimental it is to Digital Dogs. And let's not look at Paul the Thing and think that somehow he's not a big man himself. He weighs 306 pounds as well. What is going on, Sped? Welcome to the stream, brother. And 2, we're looking at what's going on this week. We've got a lot of shows going on. Not only will we have the Monday Night Meltdown show, the Thursday Thunder show, and the TWC Friday night show, but we will also have the Wednesday night show. That Wednesday night show coming up next, and our very first pay-per-view of the year. Not sure how it's going to go. It should be the King in the Ring, but I've got to see how it sets up. There should be weird stuff that goes on with that. It could be a 2-night event. We will see. But King of the Ring could be our next pay-per-view. Paul the Thing trying to hit Digital Dog square in the scunion and then getting a table for his troubles. Going on, Vipero? Welcome to the stream, brother. JW Caliber, what is up, my man? Welcome to the stream. I was going to have JW debut on the last show, but I've never got JW. I haven't talked to him about this, so JW, you can say whether you want it or not. Do you want to be in the TCW? I didn't want to just put you in there because I made you. That doesn't mean I'm putting you in. You know what I mean? So if you want to be in, I've held a spot for you so we can get you in. And even as big as Paul is, Paul just got split open. You can see right across the bridge of his nose. But even as big as Paul is, that should let you know exactly how big Digital is. Digital, by far the largest wrestler in the TCW. All right, we will get you in. You will debut then on the next TWC Friday night show. And look at the state of this. Digital Dog's making it look simple. And look, Paul right now almost looking like the cruiserweight, jumping up after getting his foot grabbed. And Paul normally looking like the big man, but it's hard to look like the big man when you're wrestling against Digital Dogs in the ring. Now, Digital Dogs took a bit of a break over the last couple episodes. Don't know if that was like a minor injury he had or if that was something where he's like, hey, let me just take a quick step back, let me regather. But right now, having the megaphone and doing what the TWO does, using all these things to the advantage. But look at Paul. Paul went to hit Digital. And now has hit him a few times. And finally, Paul really starting to make some inroads right now. You have to go create your own special match. It'll give you the option to have a 10, a 15, or a 20 count. Digital Dogs getting the first pin in this match. Can he get the next one to win the title? And immediately going after the pin and getting it, we have a brand new TCW Hardcore Champion.
Here is your winner, and new Hardcore Champion, the Destroyer,
Digital Dogs, not new to the hardcore title belt. Getting the win here tonight over Paul the Thing. But, you know, we go back and we look. R2K had it for a while. JP then beat him. Paul then goes and beats him. But if you go all the way back, this is actually the first time in the history of the TCW Digital Dogs a 4-time hardcore champion. So congrats going out to him. What's going on? Frost Freeman buying his ticket. That is what I'm talking about. Welcome to the stream, brother. Now, we're going to have to back up just a second because for some reason that nobody in the world knows why, but for some reason some of the entrances, and look, you can even see it's not even all of them. It's just some of the entrances are turned off. Makes zero sense in the world, but whatevs. Hopefully it's fixed moving here forward. Now let's get this thing back on track. Now, we go back to Thursday Night Outbreak. This is one of the matches of the night. These two guys, now, of course, we know who the champions are now, but they just took those titles off of Cecil and Kempty, one of the longest reigning men's, actually the longest reigning men's tag team that is out there. So, and something that I didn't realize, it was the first time that Vipero and Zack Hamilton won the TCW World Tag Team titles. You would have thought, as many times as these guys have won the Universal Tag Team titles, that would have been like number 3, number 4, number 5. But that is not how it went. So absolutely crazy, absolutely mind-boggling to me that has gone down. That is awesome, Herbie. Really appreciate the membership. It really goes a long way helping things out. You know, I'm looking right now, too, at the memberships. I know we're focused a lot on the memberships. I'm actually really going to start doing some stuff to where the 4 levels of memberships, they work up. But one thing that'll always happen is you will always be able to get the live streams no matter what it is. What's going on, Mojo? Welcome to the show. Yeah, look, TWO and the corporate syndicate tonight, lots of stuff going on here. This is one of those shots that the TWO has where they might be able to gain back the titles, the tag team title belts. But the TWO kind of set up tonight maybe to lose more than they stand to gain. Where on the flip side of it, the corporate syndicate has been on absolute fire these last couple weeks, winning back title belts. You know, we saw at the end of season 6, corporate syndicate kind of lost a lot of steam, but right now in season 7, they have been large and in charge for the entire season. TWO looking like maybe they're the ones that are losing some of the steam, but definitely something we're going to have to keep an eye on moving forward. Yeah, there's a lot of things I have been studying about YouTube and some other stuff. So we've been making some small changes behind the scenes. It has been paying off. Hopefully that continues to go down that way.
The following contest is a tag team match set for one fall and is for the World Tag Team Championship. Introducing the challengers at a combined weight of 429 pounds. See Al Davis and Kempty the NWO. And their opponents at a combined weight of 405 pounds. The World Tag Team Champions and the Cruiserweight Champions, Zack Hamilton and the Snake Vipero, the Syndicate.
What is going on, Sentinel? Welcome to the stream, brother. Yeah, it's hard to call it the Pink Gang, you know what I mean? Like, it is a one-man gang right now, so definitely see how that goes down. We will definitely see how that, maybe it grows, maybe it expands, maybe it doesn't, like, who knows? Hard to tell at this point, but what we do know right now is the tag team title belts on the line here in this match. And we saw that in that last episode, it really could have went either way. For a long time, it looked like Kempty and Cecil were going to get the win. Then for a long time, it looked like Vipero and Zack were going to get the win. And then right there at the end, all of a sudden, it's like I was counting Zack. What kind of a move was that? Little flippity-doo on top of the belly buster to you. Little belly to belly, 980 degree spinneroonie right there. And then you wonder, is Totes and Savage really going to be playing into this at all? And right there, an emergency tag. And as soon as you say it, are they going to be playing into it? Savage jumping up, distracting Zack Hamilton, but only briefly, and then getting back on his feet, getting things turned around, and then getting Kempty in a 1 count. Referee noticing some stuff, but then also seeing the tag. Now seeing that top is off. Kempty now fighting through both of them and getting back over. And this is the thing that makes this match so interesting when you start to watch all four of these guys. All four of these guys very unique in their movesets, which makes this match very, very interesting. But CJT, Diamond Santos, if she really was, if her backstory really was what you say it is, Diamond Santos would never join another group. She would lead another group, but she would never join another group. So you guys got to remember your backstories. I do. And kind of stay with them. You know what I mean? Stay within that. Where people will start to make mistakes in this, even though I'm the one that drives the storylines, I'm the one that does the stuff, don't get me wrong. Where people will start to make mistakes with their characters or within the group, when you try to do too many things, you got you want to go in 100 different directions, we don't move that fast. So you want to go in a bunch of different directions, will get yourself locked into purgatory to where I won't know what to do with you anyway and I won't book it. You know what I mean? So when you're requesting like, hey, let's do this or let's do that, make sure it stays within your character. Look at the state of that, and that is exactly the kind of thing Vipero does. He doesn't want to just beat you. He wants to take you to another level. He wants to take you and not just beat you, but embarrass you. What's going on, Derek? Welcome to the stream, brother. Guys, too, remember, drop the like, subscribe, turn on the bell notifications. Vipero now going, rolling up the leg. 2. And Cecil able to kick right back out in 2. And now moving back and forth, and this is where these guys, and why I was so shocked that they hadn't won this tag team title belt, that this is their very first title run as the TCW World Tag Team Champions. The thing that is surprising about that is they are 3-time Universal, which is a level above Tag Team Champions. But when you see how things went down, when you saw the split between Vipero and Dubs and Zack Hamilton got involved, they were already at the Universal Tag level. Zack, kind of the beneficiary of that, got put maybe even a level higher or a few levels higher than he was ready for, but Zack really conforming really well. You saw like briefly last season kind of stumbled a little bit, but then right back on track. Now you see he's the Cruiserweight champion. He's the TCW tag team champion now with Vipero. These guys working very well together. Really appreciate what you're doing out there, Sped. Love it. Sped also one of our newest moderators and a moderator in the Discord. So Sped doing a lot of stuff to help out the community. And right there, able to retain the TCW but able to retain the title belts. And look, probably not on the level of the last one, but then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, getting that win. And that's exactly what these Vipers can do. They can take you to the extreme and then get that win that fast. Striking like a snake, you know what I mean? So, no title belts on the line here, but we just saw Anita T win the Junior World Championship, and these two ladies, Anita T and Sid B, the TCW Special Series 8 Women Tag Team Champions. So, getting to go up now against, again, two world caliber champions, like winning the big gold. And both these ladies on the same side. So that has got to be something scary. But if you really wanted to test your mettle, if you really wanted to figure out, were you ready for the next level, this would be the match. These would be the ladies you'd want to be fighting.
The following contest is a tag team match set for one fall. On the way to the ring, the Women's Junior World Champions and the Pro Wrestling Underground Women's Tag Team Champions, the Destroyer, Anita T, and the Movable Objects, Cindy, the Insiders.
Hey, I just uploaded two, Sped. I just uploaded 4 shorts. If you guys are members of the channel, I just uploaded 4 shorts. 3 of them, and I think it was yesterday. It was yesterday or the day before, but 3 of them were edited using AI. They were our video, right? They were our video like we normally do, but they were edited using AI, and they are something else. If you haven't seen the Misty Watson one, go back, watch the Misty Watson short. That is edited with AI, and there's 3 more coming out. You'll see them coming out somewhere around mid-May. I think it's on the 15th, the 18th. I release a short every 3 days. So, but Sped, show Iffy those. I told her that you've got the access to show her, so.
The Women's Hardcore Champions, Victoria Van Dimer, and the Judge, Julie Justice, the Authority.
Very scary kind of going on with the stuff this year. With the Authority, you can already see Victoria Van Diver last season kind of lagging behind a little bit, which is crazy to even say a 2-time world champion in the TCW, but lagging behind a little bit last year, where Judge Julie Justice was taking it to another level. Now you can see already this year with Victoria Van Diver getting her hands on the Hardcore Championship and beating Ms.Nightmare for it. Ms.Nightmare has been on a roll also this year. We'll see her in action a little bit later tonight, defending the tag team title belts. But if these two ladies can get on a roll, there's about to be some trouble. So can Sid and Anita T, can they step up in this match, show that they are both ready for the next level? Again, Anita T winning The Junior World Championship from Rebecca Dawn also will be in action a little bit later. Yeah, it's exciting because it doesn't always work. Like, it takes a god-awful amount of time to get the cut of the video just right for the AI to pick it up and edit it. Hard to explain, and I can't always make it work, but edited 4 videos, got 3 of them to work, so I was super, super pumped up about it. But then you guys can also see it, the Misty Watson short video. Go check that out. That is all AI edited. Absolutely crazy. I think you're the opposite of the Authority. Think about your backstory. You're talking about you're part of a crime syndicate. The Authority is the judge, Julie Justice. You know what I mean? Like, it seems like just the opposite thing that Diamond Santos would not. She's wanting to avoid the Authority, I would imagine. And look, it's hard to say where Diamond Santos is going to go. But I'm just trying to help you guys out. I've seen people try to get involved in everybody's storyline. I've seen people like they all of a sudden they want a big faction or something. I'm saying it's like YouTube. Find your niche. Find the niche in there. It might be with the faction. It might be with the something. It might be like solo loner type of a thing. It might be like there's no telling what it could be. But it should be interesting. The most interesting things I will pay attention to because I'm like, and that's what I got. Look, I got books of stuff just written down, waiting for things to kind of happen or not happen on screen and fit the people in where they need to be. We've got books. I've got 6 of these. 6. Getting ready to start number 7. 6 is almost filled up, so... And I'm going through them all the time, rereading what we wrote. Some things come to fruition, some things don't. One of the most interesting things, though, we're seeing tonight is in these 20 count-out matches, nobody has really gone outside the ring to even start the count to get it past 4 or 5. So that is another... interesting thing that we want to keep an eye on. Yeah, isn't it crazy, Rowdy? I mean, it is it's cool. I like it. There's some different things and some different stuff, so pretty darn cool. Yeah, that will be a heck of a match. Right now, you know, the issue with the Gate Crashers, we're looking at Anita T and we're looking at Sid B, and even though they all started around the same time, you've kind of got Sid B and Anita T kind of on the lower rung of getting started. And crazy enough, Rapincha and Sarah just shot up the ranks that fast. And there's no way to predict how that's going to happen. They weren't crushing it in singles matches when they first started out, but then when we put them together, all of a sudden, that was the thing they needed. What is this? Look at the Destroyer, Anita T, doing the thing. I don't even know what we call that, but definitely doing the thing. And look at this, Sid B letting it be known. She doesn't care what or at what cost it will be. Oh! Victoria's like, hey, sorry. Didn't mean to punch you in the face. But Sid staying on top of it, getting Victoria now over in the corner. And so far, we talked about this, but Victoria Vandiver, multi-time world champion, Judge Julie Justice winning her first title here in the last season. Oh, and the Destroyer, bam, hits it, rolls her over. And the Judge able to get it broke up, but out of nowhere, you just saw Anita T, the current TWC Junior Women's World Champion, say that 95 times fast. A huge knee, and I thought that was going to be it. I thought she would be going for the pin, instead doing what the Destroyer does and destroying what's ever in her path. And look at this, thought she was going to get out of the way. Victoria fighting for her life right now. Whips Anita over into the corner. Double team action incoming. The judge now getting in. Victoria able to get back out. And that is an owie. Sid B coming on in, though. Getting it broke up. And that might have been it right there. You look at Anita coming down the way she did. Thought she might have got the wind knocked out of her right there. I didn't even think about it. It is May 1st. Do you guys know what that means? May 1st. Could only mean one thing. And that means today we have 10 brand new memberships to gift out to the chat. So just throwing them memberships out. Now remember, these are all absolutely random. I have no control over who gets them. All I do is throw them out there. So Bark Squad level 2 memberships. We have 4 different levels of membership. But is this going to be it? And that was almost it. So look, regardless, I'm saying it doesn't even matter at this point, win or lose. We have seen Sid and Anita absolutely not just holding their own, but also dominating at times in this match. And they're doing it against world caliber champions, world class caliber women. So very much so making a statement right now. Isn't that crazy, JP? Absolutely nuts. You're wrestling here tonight as well, so you made it in time. I have a funny feeling, too, that Rowdy will be doing something at the pay-per-view as well. Rowdy not wrestling tonight, will be on Thursday Outbreak, however. Very dependent on what happens here tonight in JP's match. Now look at this, and they're showing you why they are world class caliber competitors. Starting to make the comeback, but Sid B says she is not having it. Not today. Taking a page out of Rowdy's book and not letting the judge get back to her corner. Instead, throws her into her own corner. But look at this. Fighting out of it. Doing the things that she is trying to do. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Rowdy, 12 months in the Bark Squad as well. And I am absolutely shocked the judge able to get her up like that. Hooks the leg. 1, 2, 3. And Sid B getting a pin on a former world champion.
The Destroyer, Anita T, and the movable objects, Sid D, the Insiders.
The Insiders indeed. So you start to wonder, like, is it possible for this to happen? Is it possible for that to happen? when will be a good time for somebody really to move up and start getting a bigger push on one of the two TCW main shows? When is that time? And I'm telling you right now, it is looking like that is exactly that time for Sid B and Anita T. Anita T's got a Junior World Championship, obviously, to defend, but starting to look like that is exactly what needs to happen. Hold on. Got storms going on in our area right now, so got to make sure Mrs. Totes is okay.
And is for the World Television Championship.
World Television Championship on the line right now. Eagle Star getting his first shot at it. Hey, thanks for popping in, Sped. Really appreciate you buying your ticket. Goes a long way. You know that, and I really appreciate everything you do. Hope you and Iffy have a great weekend. Congratulations, though, going out. McWayne, Bama Boy, triple beat. Brian Herdsberger, Ranger, Andre, which four of those guys we see in the chat all the time. Danielle, Michael Taylor. Michael Taylor might end up being a part of this before too long. Mr. Gruffy a part of it. You all know Blazed Radio and JP, all 10 getting gifted memberships here on May 1st. I'm excited too because we're going to start seeing, moving forward after this week, we're going to start seeing the monthly rumbles happen. And it is monthly in the game. So we're going to see March, April, May, June, like we will see those in game. I don't know, Sam, if I've seen them. By the way, Sam, welcome to the stream, brother. But now, Blackheart, former world champion, current TCW television champion. And look, he has been defending that belt like it ain't nobody's business. Blackheart this season starting to look like the Blackheart of old. And I've got to tell you, if you are the world champion, I've got to imagine Blackheart before too long will be coming for that world championship. Kind of see the new look. Used to have a much darker look. Still has a dark look. But look, and even Sam and JP walking them down to the ring are like, hey, let me just stand back. Let me let the big guy do his thing. You know what I mean? Yeah, no, I hope the same thing, Sam. I hope the same thing.
Introducing the challenger. From Birmingham, Alabama, weighing in at 240 pounds, the Eagle Starman. And his opponent, from another time, weighing in at 266 pounds, the World Television Champion, the Evil Within, Blaq.
Yeah, I'm going right back through. I'm like, hey, I don't want to miss anybody. You know what I mean? Like Sam had been in the chat there for a minute or two. Make sure we got that going. And you know, we've seen Eagle have about this look, but a little bit different look this year. Kind of like the look. You can see still a big guy, you know, shorter but big. Very stout, but it looks like he's got a lot more lean muscle. So wondering if that will help maybe a little bit of the speed, a little bit of the reaction time going into this year. Definitely something to keep an eye on. But what it didn't hinder is the power Eagle's got behind that clothesline. So we know we can see the corporate syndicate here, and JP always wanted to be involved. This is why he is the VP of the corporate syndicate. Now, while we don't know exactly what is going on with the Horsemen, we know that Eagle and Bama still repping the Horsemen. So the Horsemen, maybe a little battered, but still alive and well. And Eagle Star trying to bring a belt back to the Horsemen. And we don't even know. We've been looking at some different things. Still wondering if it's possible, if it could happen. But could we see different Horsemen? Could we see two different Horsemen? Could the Horsemen be recruiting? We have seen in the matches Totes talking to Bama, Totes talking to Eagle. We have seen Rowdy talking to Eagle, so don't know what those guys are talking about. But whatever it is, I'm sure before too long we will be finding out. And that was a long way to go to get a boot to the chest, you know what I mean? Now, I mean, returning the favor with one to the head, but still a long way to go. Eagle jumping, and I did not think he could make it that far. You forget sometimes that Eagle is a light heavyweight at the end of the day, but still. That might have been the mistake of the match right there. Eagle looking like he was kind of getting over on Blackheart there, looking like he was kind of heading for the victory. But jumping and hitting nowhere. Oh, Eagle getting fired up right now. Did they fix it? Of course they didn't. And Blackheart getting over and getting around too. But Eagle able to kick out in two. Yeah, I didn't even know he could fly that far. But he did it. Now remember, Blackheart just needs a little bit, but Eagle grabs him instead, too. Blackheart just needs a little bit of space. He gets that little bit of space on you, and that could make it all over. But the Crying Eagle now trying to hit him with that. Blackheart remembered what that looked like, ducked that lariat. Referee once again getting in the way, and Eagle using a big boot. And this is where you got to be careful with the corporate syndicate. You see, You got the corporate syndicate guys on the outside. We've seen JP getting involved multiple times. Eagle trying to work through that, trying to stay away. Haven't seen Bama really get involved a whole bunch in this match. And look, this should tell you how tough of a match this has been, how physically demanding of a match this has been. Now, this is the longest count we have seen the ref have all night long. Already up to a 12 count. And Blackheart getting Eagle back into the ring. Eagle trying to get to his feet. Robbo! SpaghettiOs! This is a submission maneuver that Eagle has been trying to work out the last couple of seasons and still unable to get it put on to Blackheart. Lets it go. Now hits him with that elbow that he missed with last time. Blackheart gets up, and that might be it. Could it be over? 1, 2, and somehow kicks out of the nail in the coffin. Blackheart now using that out of the ring springboard, hitting him with the leg drop, hooking that same leg. 1. And Eagle on another level right now. How is he kicking out of this stuff? Blackheart's got to be getting a little bit frustrated right here. And Eagle's fighting like a horseman, fighting for his life. And not sure what that was all about, but Eagle going over to the other side. Maybe just wanting to disrupt the corporate syndicate a little bit. Maybe wanting to make sure that they weren't going to be chasing him. Kind of seeing where their own head's at. And Eagle, again, just fighting through it. You wouldn't expect this to be going on, but fighting through it, doing the thing, and understanding to beat Blackheart, he is absolutely going to have to do something above and beyond. Blackheart, though, able to fight through that right there. And again, Blackheart takes him, splits Eagle open. I don't even know if we're going to be able to see the cuts. But Eagle Star definitely split open. He has got to get him back in the ring. Referee count up to 13, and you cannot, the belt will not change hands on a count out. And I think at this point, Blackheart's like, let's stay outside the ring. I don't know if I can beat him right now in the current state of how Eagle is feeling. And a 19 count, and gets back in the ring. Oh, that is a big kick right to the chest. Did he do it right there? Look at how wore out both these competitors are. Eagle grasping his chest. Blackheart looking on. Bama, you can see him pounding the ring, telling Eagle to get up. Blackheart's waiting for him, and that has got to be it. 2 nails in the coffin. What a great match that was.
Here is your winner, and still World Television Champion, the Evil Within, Blackheart.
Boy, you wonder if Blackheart has earned this World Television title. Has he earned the right to carry it around? You start looking at some different things. You look at that match all by itself. You don't even need to see other things, but you look at what he has been doing with that title belt. Just beat Eagle Star, and that's got to be a 5-star match. I don't see how it wouldn't be. Beat Bama Boy to win the title. Beat Digital Dogs. Beat Andrew Dubs. And now getting the win over Eagle Star. I don't know how they call it a 4.5-star match. That makes no sense to me. I mean, that is one of those matches where match of the year, maybe. Well, you know what's funny? Happened to go to the 20 count rules because of 2K. Wanted to have all these easy like wins on a 10 count. It's almost like the wrestlers expect the 20 count, and all of a sudden it ends in 10, and we're getting a lot of double count outs. So by changing it to the 20, now we're starting to get a little more realistic, a little more realism in what would be going on. If they ever patch it, we'll go back to 10. But if they don't, then we're not.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the United States Championship.
United States title belt on the line. Matt Storm having the chance, having the opportunity to make this his 10th straight title defense. Totes holds the record at 11 for the United States Championship. Matt Storm has defended this belt 9 times. If he can beat JP here tonight, it will be number 10. If that happens, Matt Storm could be facing Rowdy, who have gone after each other on the world title level. They may be going after each other at the King of the Ring pay-per-view. With that title belt on the line, Matt Storm could tie the record at King of the Ring. But can't be looking at King of the Ring right now. Has got to be focused on the VP of the corporate syndicate, JP. And look at that, the United States title belt. Totes coming out cheering on one of the members of the TWO. You know, even as a leader, you probably look at Rowdy, you look at Totes, you look at what's been going on, probably Robbo back in the day when he was with the Horsemen. The leaders definitely want the guys they are leading to go above and beyond. That also speaks volumes to the leadership of that person. So you got to believe Totes wants this to happen. But this is one of those records where you just don't think it's going to be beat. We've seen Totes do it 11 times defending the United States title belt, 11 times defending the Universal $1 million title. Now on a different run right now with that title belt, but defended that belt 11 times. The only one to ever defend any belt more is Ozzy, defending the TCW Women's World title belt a record 13 straight times.
Introducing the challenger. From Los Angeles, California, weighing in at 203 pounds, the All-American JP. And his opponent from Nashville, Tennessee, weighing in at 249 pounds, the United States Champion, the Captain, Matt Storm.
So on this run up to this point, beating R2K a number of times, Drew Hawthorne, Milkman, our current world champion, Jahki, the current television champion, Blackheart, Vipero a couple of times, and former world champion Recon Delta as well. So this has been quite a run with the United States title belt, but will he be able to defeat JP here tonight? And you can see right away these guys getting into a wrestling match probably that JP wants to be in. Matt Storm, more one to go, a lot more power. JP trying to slow him down, trying to get in maybe some of the chain wrestling, some of the more technical aspects of wrestling. And JP gonna try to use the ring and doing it. Now, we haven't seen hardly anybody have success against Matt Storm. And JP right now finding a way to do it. Again, trying to do that chain wrestling stuff, trying to do the technical wrestling. And not the match. And not the match style that Matt Storm is going to want to be in. Referee not really paying attention to what's going on, and JP still in control of this match. Matt Storm now starting to turn it back around, starting to wrench on the neck a little bit himself, trying to return the favor to JP. JP fighting out of it now, arm locking him. You can see, has that wrist bent right there at the elbow. Matt Storm reversing it back around, getting that arm bar on the back end. Really wrenching on it right now, and JP in a bad spot trying to get out of the way. Trying to get back in control. And Matt Storm now huge. Spinning backhand and back in to the style of match that he is a lot more accustomed to. Hitting him. Oh, we have seen him win right there on that move. JP knew it, slid out of the ring. And JP showing you why he is a multi-time champion himself. But you just think about it, and we say this quite a bit. Usually when you're inside the ring, JP absolutely the one who has the advantage. If Matt Storm gets him on the outside, you would believe that that advantage would flip, because you see JP using the entire ring right now. Using the entire ring to his advantage, picking up Matt. And talking that business right there, letting them know, you see both the TWO and the corporate syndicate, very similar styles, led by very similar people. Led by former members of the Horsemen. And look at that, JP returning that favor right there. Might be trying to go for a pin right here. Doesn't. Matt getting it turned back around. And I'm going to tell you what. When you look at the power of Matt Storm, it does not take many moves for him to end your night, but JP starting to do stuff. He's starting to feel it, tells him to get to his feet, hits him, and this might be it. Now he hooks the leg. 1, 2. And Matt Storm able to find a way to kick out, but JP setting up for it again. Can he hit it? And it has got to be all over if he can get this in. Hits it, rolls him up, 2. And Matt Storm somehow finds a way to do it again. JP taking it to the top. And hits him with a big elbow. JP trying to hit him again, misses the second elbow. Matt Storm trying to get back in control of this match. JP not letting it happen. Savage now talking to the referee, distracting the referee. And JP working on that lower body, trying to make sure he doesn't kick out again. And what more does JP have to do to get Matt Storm to stay down? Well, I don't know what more he's got to do, but I know what he's about to do right here. Big kick right up underneath the chin. Matt, though, not going to stay in the middle of the ring. Starting to understand what is happening now. Gets back to his feet. Fights a huge spear right to the midsection. And JP kicking out and no count. Oh, Matt Storm trying to talk to the referee. JP not going to let that happen. Very, very wise. And again, you see how many times JP hits Matt, but it only is going to take a few times. When you look at the style of wrestler Matt Storm is, it will only take a few times, a few big moves, and JP could put an end to Matt Storm's reign right here. Matt now setting up for it, and this is not what JP wants to see. If he hits it, it could be over. Hits him with the perfect storm, 2. And JP kicks out of the perfect storm. We have seen Matt Storm kick out from JP's maneuver. We have seen JP kick out of the perfect storm, and it is going to take one move to win it. One move. Moving forward to win this match. Matt Storm now doing a JP maneuver. Is this going to be a mistake? Does JP see it coming? Big double axe handle. And JP wisely rolling out, but maybe not rolling out to the right side. Savage and Totes not wanting to cause a disqualification. Gets out of the way. JP reverses it back around. Both men back in the ring. JP has the advantage. Man, Prime Time, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for buying your ticket. And look at this. JP talking with Jay Savage. Doesn't see it coming. Rot-row SpaghettiOs. Could that be the mistake that cost JP the title? 2, 3, and Jay Savage just cost JP the United States Championship.
And still, United States Champion, the Captain, Matt Storm.
Matt Storm taking advantage right there. So you see what ends up happening. If you ever wondered why Totes, the first guy, when he decided to restart the NWO, now they're called the TWO, the first guy he went out and got was the leader of the corporate syndicate. When Jay Savage brought JP in, there's no way that was only a 3.5-star match. That is another, I'm saying we got robbed. Right there, another 5-star match going downtown. The pundits at home not voting very well. But you look at when that breakup between Rowdy and Totes happens, he goes out and gets him. JP trying to become the leader of the corporate syndicate, then Rowdy goes out and gets JP. So I'm just saying, long storied history between JP and Savage just cost JP the United States Championship. But that is now 10 straight title defenses for Matt Storm. So Matt Storm and Rowdy will be set to go for the title belt. That is now only the fourth time in the history of the TCW that somebody has defended a title in the double digits. Corporate Syndicate about to get their shot right here. Oh, okay. Coming back after the commercial break. Savage reaching out his hand says, not having it. GC Rock all pissed off. And look, Savage playing the mind games. Did it in the last round. Cost JP the title there. And now playing the mind games right here in this match. Him and GC Rock getting ready to go after it. Haven't seen a lot going downtown from GC Rock, but seeing them right now. And playing that game, the luchador style game, you know what I mean? Like, granted, doesn't look like a luchador now, but we're deep in the career of Jay Savage. But when he started out, that is still his background. So even though not a luchador by today's standards, you are still going to see some remnants of that offense, including his finisher, the triple butterfly. And see, this is what I'm talking about, wanting to show the technical prowess. Yeah, maybe they can stand, fight toe-to-toe. Maybe it's about some strength as well. Charles Robinson getting in there, breaking it up. And now going with that Mongolian chop right upside the chest of GC Rock. G trying to fight through it. And now standing, going toe-to-toe. G not wanting to go that technical style of wrestling. Now G wanting to go toe-to-toe, show who's got the power. So we have almost seen everything that we could see in this match so far. And it is only within the first 2 minutes of the match. Yeah, GC Rock is GC Rock. He's got a channel. He's a Division YouTuber. And Jay Savage coming out on top of that as well. Coming out on top of not only the technical aspect, but then the power. G starting to fight back, though. And again, maybe we've seen a lot of Jay Savage. Jay kind of feeling it, but we haven't seen a lot of GC Rock. And G taking it up top. Don't normally see that, but we saw that. Huge leg drop off the top rope. And that is 300-something pounds coming down right on top of you from the top rope. So not a shocker. Jay Savage moving a little bit slower. Yeah, G's got a slightly different, he's got a more chromed out look this year. Savage, though, that time, and look, tried to put him in the tripletta, tried to get him with the triple butterfly. So G tries to hit him with the rockopotamus. Savage tries to hit him with the triple butterfly. And both men able to avoid both maneuvers. Still have 3 big matches coming up here to finish out the evening. We are still going to see Rebecca, Dawn, and Ozzy going after the Faces of Fear for the Women's World Title belt. Savage now setting up for it. Can he get it in this time? There's 1 butterfly. There's 2 butterflies, and to complete it out, 3 butterflies. Rolls up the leg. 1, 2, 3, and Jay Savage on another level here tonight.
Here is your winner, Jay Savage.
Jay Savage making Monday Night Meltdown, maybe Savage Meltdown. Absolutely making his presence known in quite a few of the different matches here tonight. Now, we just got done talking about it, but Rebecca, Dawn, and Ozzy going after the TCW Women's Tag Team titles in this match coming up. Then we will see Totes defending in a 2 out of 3 falls count match against Robbo, former leader of the Horsemen. And then in the main event, Sentinel will be facing off against Jahki. No title belts on the line, but still, could this be a preview to King of the Ring? Guys, while we got a second, drop the likes on the video, subscribe if you're new, share the video. Probably the best thing you can do right now. Share the video out, let people know what is going on. Get them in here, let's get them as a part of the community. Everything I just named is absolutely free. You can make a YouTube account, you can subscribe to the channel, you can like the video, you can share it, all free. Huge help to the channel. Really appreciate everything this community does. And then you can also become members of the channel. We've got 4 different things, and we are really going to start separating those 4 levels of membership. Should be a lot of fun. Been looking at doing that. Should see it here in the next couple of weeks. Now, you talk about one of the more freaky entrances that we have ever seen. We thought seeing the faces of fear were one thing, but now not seeing them, completely a different thing. Alana D and Ms.Nightmare making their way down to the ring right now. Covering up their faces of fear. The glow coming off of their hats there is something else. Absolutely on a different level right there. But one of the more interesting things when you start looking at some of the stuff is Alana D and Ms.Nightmare, 4-time TCW Women's Tag Team Champions. But before that even happened, you look at Ms.Nightmare, she was 2-time champions with Miss Scorpion. So that makes her a 6-time tag team champion all by herself. So, like, absolutely crazy. Ms.Nightmare absolutely dominant in the tag team division. What is going on, Eagle Star? Welcome to the stream.
The following contest is a tag team match set for one fall and is for the Women's World Tag Team Championship. Introducing the challengers, the irresistible force, Rebecca Dawn, and the legend, Oxley, the Outlaws. And their opponents, the Women's World Tag Team Champions, the Necromancer, Anita T and Ms.Nightmare, the Faces of Fear.
But absolutely crazy, the different stuff. And look, 3 days in a row. You know what's funny about that? I thought we were like way behind on the shows. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of time in between the shows. We actually had 10 shows in the month of April. That is the most that we typically do. We try to keep it between 6, 8, 9, 10. But 10 is like on the top end, already on May 1st too, getting a quick start to getting the shows out there. So we got to take them where we can get them, and we've been getting them the last 3 days. So really appreciate all of you guys, the dedication that takes. I know our shows go for a couple hours, so You guys being able to be here, be in the stream, be interactive, and do that really means a lot. So thank you going out to you guys. Now, the champions showing you why they are the 4-time champions. Making those quick in and out maneuvers. Rebecca becoming some weights for Ms.Nightmare. And look at the state of that, coming off that top rope and already going through a hard-fought match with Anita T a few nights ago. Rebecca now trying to fight back, and look, there's no good thing. Like, you look at the size of Ms.Nightmare and Alana D, two of the larger wrestlers. Ozzy about on the same level as that, but Rebecca Dawn quite a bit smaller. Now, used to fighting against larger wrestlers, don't get me wrong, but really, when you look at a match like this, you would almost expect Ozzy really needing to do some of the heavy lifting in the beginning of the match. And if that can happen, Rebecca D would be able to come in and probably put nails all over the coffins, right? Because then you look at the speed Rebecca's got versus a Ms.Nightmare versus an Alana D. If Ozzy can wear them down a little bit, kind of slow them down even a little bit more, Rebecca Dawn really would be able to shine at that point. Yeah, there was even a big match in the last episode with Angela Starr. She did very, very well. Oh, and look at the state of this. That almost looked like a tarantula-type maneuver. But Ozzy able to get out of it and now get the tag partner in. Rebecca being put in a good spot. But look at that. Alana ducks the punch. Rebecca, though not missing a beat, whips her into the corner. And Rot-Row SpaghettiOs, once again, the referee getting right in the way. Now Alana getting on the outside of the ring, trying to do something, and a huge clothesline. Don't even know how that happened. Thought she was going for the tag. Rebecca unable to even get up, and look at this. Ozzy going to be there to break it up, however, but still, at what cost? Not something the Outlaws wanted to see happen. Oh, first time we saw that. Well, it still went the wrong way, but first time we saw Rebecca able to reverse the reversal of her own comeback move. So hopefully one day 2K will fix that as well. But Rebecca not giving up. Rebecca fighting back right now. Alana taking her over into her own corner. And then getting the tag. But look, I mean, she's on the ground right now and taking another hip/knee right to the face, trying to fight back, but this stuff starts happening and there's only so much she's going to be able to fight back with. Now trying to use the outside to her advantage and going on absolute fumes right now. Attacking Ms.Nightmare, going after her like it ain't nobody's business. Will she be able to get the tag in to Ozzy? And remember, too, like at the end of the day, there is no belt changing hands on a countout. You can win the match, but, you know, that's like winning a battle to lose the war. Like, you don't want that to happen. You don't want it to go down that way. taking her, whipping her into another corner, and we've seen her do this when she starts this. Could we have new champions? Slams her down. Alana, though, gets in and breaks it up, but that is Becky's finishing move. And now you can see her moving slow, but gets Ozzy tagged in right after the finishing move. Can Ozzy capitalize on that? And it looks like the answer is no. Now she's doing squats with Ozzy. Before she was doing upper body, now lower body with Ozzy. So Ms.Nightmare trying to get her out of the ring. Ozzy, though, getting back to her feet and watch. Oh, I was going to say, watch out. You know the bone crusher comes. And sometimes that comes off of getting thrown into the ropes. Looked like Ms.Nightmare was about to throw her into the ropes right there. Now Alana getting Ozzy in the corner, though. Ozzy fighting out, flipping it around. And not flipping it around. Back and forth these ladies go. Where they stop, nobody knows. And they continue to fight back and forth. And Ozzy with a big freight train-like maneuver. Chugga chugga rot row and uh-oh spaghettios. I don't know if Becky is ready. Like, Becky really needs a breather. Or does she? Goes, tries to hit her finisher again. Hooks the leg, one. And hits it on Alana, hits it on Ms.Nightmare. Gets Ozzy tagged back in, so don't let me be the one to tell these ladies what their strategy is. They are figuring it out right now. Ozzy now getting whipped into the corner. And now the table's starting to turn. The champion's starting to get back in control of this match. Rolls her up. Almost looking like a near-side schoolboy right there. Whips Ms.Nightmare now into the corner. And here we go. Double team, double team. Definitely going to have to look at the double team maneuvers of Rebecca Dawn and get some of these fixed. But look at this. Becky staying in, trying to do the stuff, trying to stay out of the clutches of Ms.Nightmare, but that not working. Hooks the leg, one, two. And look, at the end of the day, how much can Becky have in the tank? Seriously, like how much could she even have? Thought she was running on fumes a long time ago, but still finding a way to kick out in two. Throws her into the corner again, but how long do you want Ms.Nightmare in that corner? We have seen Alana fighting out of it, and look at this. Thought she was going for the pin right there, trying to get to her tag team partner, now fighting through it. And is she going for the tag? Probably a really wise decision there. I thought maybe she was backing up for something. But got Ozzy and let her do it now. Going for the pin. Two. And, I mean, she kicked out, but I wouldn't exactly say she kicked out with authority. And then finally getting the emergency tag in. Alana D throwing her down. Forehead first. Hooks the leg. Two. And almost able to get the win there. Look at the absolute frustration on Alana. Like, you could just see the body language. Completely frustrated now, picking her up. That is Alana's finisher, and that might be it. Hooks the leg of Ozzy. Two. And Ozzy still finds a way. Now you can see, you don't have to look at the face or the body language or the disappointment. You can see it in Alana right now. Ozzy now doing the thing, starting to make the comeback right here. Can she try to finish it? Can she put her maybe in the yellow brick road, or are we going to see something for real? Here we go. This is their tag team finisher. Oh, that is an owie. Hook in the leg, but Ms.Nightmare is going to be in there to break it up. Rebecca sticking with it. Hits her with this, hits her with that. A little bit of this and a little bit of that. Now going for... Thought she was going for the pin, but instead tries for the elbow, and that was a costly mistake. Right there, Alana able to recover in time. And still, both these ladies going back and forth. Both ladies, you can tell they're exhausted. Ms.Nightmare now, and it looked like they were trying something else, like maybe going for their own tag team finisher. Instead, Becky able to fight through and get Ozzy back in. Now, we have not seen Ozzy do it yet. We have not seen Ozzy put her in the yellow brick road. But I've got a feeling it is coming right now, and that might have been the maneuver that she needed right there. Picks her up one more time. Hitting it again on Ms.Nightmare. And is that going to be the mistake? Like, you wonder why she hasn't done it. You got to believe that it's in there right now. Unable to do it, however. And then taking her head right off of the thing. Now, you wanted a tag team title match. When you were booking both these teams, this is exactly the kind of match that you were hoping for. Going now, rolling the leg, but again, there to break it up. But is Ms.Nightmare going to try to put her in the bone crusher? If she does, and there it is, splits Ozzy open. Bone crusher, blood running down the face, and the Faces of Fear retain the TCW Women's Tag Team titles. These ladies showing you right now why they are the four-time Women's TCW Tag Team Champions. Without a doubt, a 5-star match put on by all four of these ladies. Absolutely crazy. And that brings us down to the last two matches of the evening. A 2 out of 3 false count match. Robbo, former Horseman, getting ready to go up against Totes McGotes, trying to win. Totes McGotes looking a little bit darker. Don't know what's been going on with that, but looking a little bit darker than he has in a while. Rowdy gonna escort Robbo down to the ring. But look, it's crazy. 3 of the 4 horsemen down at the ring right now. All 3 former horsemen. So $1 million title on the line right now. It appears that patch 1.09 again broke the manager, so touche. Managers once again coming down. Like, they fix things and then they break them, and then they have a really cool patch that fixes a lot of things, and then they put out the next one that breaks a crap ton again. And now, don't get me wrong, I'd much rather the matches be working than the managers, but still, it's just, come on, 2K, serious. Like, how do you manage to do this? Unreal. But that is neither here nor there. Robbo getting a shot. And Robbo, a Universal World Champion. But getting a shot at the Universal $1 million title here tonight. Getting a shot at Totes McGotes. And this isn't going to be a oopsie daisy. This is a 2 out of 3 falls count. You can do it by tapping. You can do it by pinfall. But it's not going to be an accident when it happens. And again, Savage has been playing a lot into what has been going on here tonight. Savage helping out Matt Storm. Maybe Matt Storm playing a bigger role in tonight's match. Maybe neither, man. But you know, one thing is for certain, Jay Savage will be playing a role in tonight's match. He has played a role in every single match he has come down to manage. So we will see what happens here. Will Totes be able to defend the title here tonight? Now, we already talked about how he defended it at one point 11 times before losing it to Digital Dogs. Now, on the second longest streak ever, defending it 4 times, can he make it 5 tonight and push that streak?
Introducing the challenger. From Grays, England, weighing in at 228 pounds, Robbo. And his opponent, from every man's nightmare, weighing in at 258 pounds, the Universal $1 Million Champion, Tonyo McGotes.
No, that's his. That's how they come down. That's how the corporate syndicate comes down. But Rowdy should have been in his other attire. So, and then they end up in their wrestling attire. But they come down in suits or suit-like stuff. Hey, that is true. But here we go. Totes McGotes fighting against Robbo. 2 former horsemen going after it. Robbo, the former leader of the 4 horsemen. Both men probably more to just prove than just having the title belt on the line. Don't get me wrong, it's a universal title belt, but you get former horsemen in the ring together, both men probably want to prove how good they are, how they were the better horsemen. Totes has come out on top of this match the last couple times, but can Robbo turn that around here tonight? Rowdy also down doing the thing. Jay Savage and Matt Storm also ringside here tonight. This match, of course, leading up to the main event of the evening, and that main event will see Sentinel and Jahki face off one-on-one. No title belt on the line, but Jahki, the current TCW World Champion. Sentinel, a former 3-time TCW World Champion. So it is also interesting this year, we have seen Robbo trying to go to like a quicker style offense, where we have seen Totes going to a little more power style offense. But look at this, the falls will count anywhere. Totes flipping them around, however. Robbo back up on top. And back and forth they go. Rowdy is like, what is happening? Both men just wanting to prove that point. Finally, Robbo able to kick out. And this is one of those places where you look at the style of Totes, and Totes being on the outside of the ring, he will do some underhanded things. So usually not the place you'd want to be in, but you're looking at Robbo. Robbo probably another guy you wouldn't want on the outside of the ring. Rowdy, another guy you wouldn't want on the outside of the ring. Jay Savage, another guy you wouldn't want on the outside of the ring. And the speed right now, you can see Robbo just a little bit quicker than Totes, and that speed really starting to pay off in this match right now. Now hooks the leg. Referee, of course, way out of position, but finally doesn't even get that 1 count on there. Totes now starting to fight back, but will he be able to maintain control? He hasn't been able to do it as of yet. No countouts. Countouts are not going to save either one of these wrestlers in this match. It is going to have to be, and Totes again coming up just short. Robbo really having Totes scouted out right now. Totes unable to connect on hardly any moves as of yet. And Robbo bringing Totes back into the ring. Now taking it up top. I don't think Totes sees it. Big 5-star frog splash. And there is the first fall right there. Robbo now trying to get the second one. Totes trying to get out of the way. And Robbo one pin or one tap out away from gaining the Universal Championship. Totes now, what kind of a pin is that? Totes even being down 1-0, still going for some of these nonchalant style pins, almost like he doesn't believe he can lose this title. Now gets Robbo, puts him in the extraction, flips him over. 1, 2. And Robbo again able to kick out in 2. The crowd calling for a little fight forever, but I don't think Robbo's going to be able to kick out of it this time. And Totes brings it back, ties it back up 1-1. And the next pinfall will be the winner. Shocked that my dogs weren't barking, weren't doing nothing. Their mama's home. They don't even know it. Totes is being way too loud. Robbo now using that, and you can see Jay Savage talking to the referee, trying to distract the referee, but Robbo using it to his advantage, not the other way around. Robbo going right back and gonna break that kendo stick over the back of Totes McGotes, and he could be going for the win right here. Trying to get him. Oh, look at this. Matt Storm distracting Robbo. Robbo now talking to him, saying like, hey, what do you think you're doing? And Matt's like, hey, look, I'm just trying to do the thing. And Totes using it to his advantage, getting things turned back around. Robbo using that ring to get out or to get back to his feet. Totes now going after something and going after a chair. Robbo sees it coming, but Totes throws it anyway. Rolls him back over, and what is this? Oh, went to hit him. Totes still caught him right and dirty. Picks him back up. A huge boot upside his head. He put those boots upside his head. Dog still not going after or doing anything. You ever wonder why we were called the Bark Squad? They were going to let you know, but have not. They've been very good. Good boys and good girls. Totes now whipping Robbo into the corner. Goes up, goes down. and hits him with that crazy jawbuster, goes up top, which we don't hardly ever see, dives, hits him with his one bad eye, 2, 3, and Totes finds a way to retain the Universal $1 million title.
Here is your winner, and still the Universal $1 million champion, Tonio McGotes.
Man, you ever wonder why people say what they say about Totes? You look at him, even down by one pinfall, still never believed he was going to lose that match. Still, Penn and Robbo, all nonchalant, really easily could have lost that match, but instead finds a way, with the help of Jay Savage and with the help of Matt Storm, to retain the Universal $1 million title. What is going on, Solo? Welcome to the stream. You've actually got 3 of those butterfly tattoos in honor of the tripletta, the triple butterfly. And look, it's one of those matches you put 2 former horsemen in the ring together, you kind of expect it to go down. Yeah, it is shake and bake, and you absolutely help. But you expect it to go down a certain way, but another great match between those guys. Now, heading in to the final match of the evening, the main event, Sentinel taking on Jahki. No title belts on the line, but could this be the prelude to the world title match we see with the King of the Ring?
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring, representing the new foundation from Chesapeake, Virginia, weighing in at 308 pounds, Sinister Trout.
You should really go back and watch every match that you are a manager in and the match you fought in. Jay Savage having a big night here tonight on Monday Night Meltdown. But Sentinel been calling it out, a 3-time world champion now going up facing the current TCW world champion, wanting to prove a point that he should get another shot, maybe get a shot at becoming only the second 4-time TCW world champion. Of course, Rowdy being a 4-time world champion. Sentinel wanting to get his shot at that. Will he get it at the next pay-per-view? You can see kind of a different attitude, kind of a different way of doing things, kind of a different way of going about his business in this season, already winning the TCW tag team titles, but now the current champion, the TCW world champion, making his way down to the ring, and making his way down to the ring without the Wolfpack. This could even be a first.
And his opponent, representing the Wolfpack from Sydney, Australia, weighing in at 248 pounds, the World Heavyweight Champion, the Wolf.
Now, maybe coming down to prove a point like, hey, I don't need the Wolfpack, I don't need this. But at the end of the day, you still look at it. The first time he comes down without the Wolfpack, the title not on the line. But still, it's going to be a big match. You're looking a current champion, a current world champion, not wanting to give any way, not wanting to lose any ground to a former world champion, especially when you're looking at a former 3-time world champion. Now Jahki. Can Jahki, though, keep the focus, keep things going? He has been having a lot of success here in Season 7. Really needs to keep it going heading into the King of the Ring. And look, trying to get off to a fast start, but quickly Jahki getting it turned right back around. And when we look at the matches Jahki has been in, has been absolutely dominating. You know, we talked about the way he won the world title, really using the smarts, and was a light heavyweight at the time he won, but knew that he had to pack on some muscle, so got in the gym, packed on about 13 pounds of muscle. And then when he had to face Rowdy one-on-one, no shenanigans, had the strength to endure. Now still, you look at Rowdy, one of the strongest wrestlers we've got, but Jahki able, lost a little bit of the speed, don't get me wrong, but still able to gain a little bit of the strength, still able to get in that kind of happy medium to defend off the powerhouses, still able to fend off some of your light heavyweights, some of the faster guys, while he won't be as fast as those guys, still able to compete in the ring. So kind of really found this happy balance that has been working out for him so far. But Sentinel, you look at Sentinel on the other end of it. But you look at the other end of it and you look at what Sentinel has done. Sentinel just continuing to do what he does. Sentinel, a very powerful style wrestler. And neither one of these guys really paying attention to the count right now. I don't think they care who wins or loses necessarily. I think they are trying to gain the advantage by possibly hurting the other wrestler. Charles Robinson trying to control the action. And both guys able to get back in the ring. Not a 20 count. Looks like this is a 10 count match. The one 10 count match of the night. And Sentinel might have a point. You know, Sentinel has been trying to call out Jahki, trying to get the match. But Jahki really more involved with Rowdy now that kind of took its course. Sentinel stepping up, getting this match, getting a non-title match, trying to prove that he deserves to be in the ring with Jahki. He's the guy who deserves the next shot. And there could be some outlying guys out there too right now, maybe getting a shot at Jahki. Maybe some guys that we saw here tonight. Maybe some guys that have been doing some things. And maybe a couple of guys that might be ready to step in as well. How does it play out? We don't know as of yet. Who are the people slotted to go in the King of the Ring? And you look at what just happened. Sentinel able to get a big win here over Jahki tonight. Now, this is a strange match because this goes against everything that we have seen leading up to this point. But Sentinel finding a way right there to get the win. But now I got to kind of wonder. We have seen Jahki absolutely dominating matches. Absolutely going and taking things to another level. Ending matches early and then ends up taking an L here tonight in a very strange fashion. Was this maybe something, maybe a strategy that Jahki has employed to get into the head of Sentinel? I don't know. But definitely something we're going to want to keep an eye on moving forward. Guys, that is going to do it for us here tonight. Remember, when you guys are out there in the world and you're doing some stuff, people are acting a certain way, be a leader in your own community. Be a leader in your own situations. Do not let other people affect the way you act. You step up. Don't let them affect your mental state. You step up. You show them the way to do it. Just because they're being mean doesn't mean you've got to be mean. Just because they're being nice doesn't mean you got to be nice either. So it's a two-way street, but you guys step up, be the leader, show them the way forward, maybe show them a little bit of grace. But guys, from all of us here at the Totes McGotes Wrestling Network to all of you guys out there, remember, keep on keeping on, do your thing, and I'm going to catch all of you guys in the next one. Peace.